time because I know you're super busy.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to All About the Joy. I'm Carmen Lisette, your host, and in the house is my brother from another mother, which you've all heard me talk about, Billy. Wait, why did you write William? Are we going by
Because
William?
my name is William.
Well,
I know it's Billy. It's Billy. Everyone calls me Billy. I like to be known as William when it's a more formal setting. And I'm finding this a little formal already because you're interviewing me. So, or you're going to ask me a few questions of my thoughts on different things. Anyways.
I know, but it okay. I thank you. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I'm just going to, you know what I mean, like that kind of. I know, thank you. So, okay, first I want to tell people how we know each other because not everyone knows. But I was trying to think about this. I remember you when I was like 12 years old. I remember first watching you perform. I remember being that young and seeing you perform and being like, oh my God, he's so amazing. But do you remember when we first met? I don't know if I remember when we first met.
I don't remember. I don't know if I know exactly when we first met. I want to say you were in SAC, if I remember.
Oh, that was much later then. That was much later.
Oh, really? So did I meet you when you were in West Roxbury?
Yeah. So no. So so this is where I remember. First of all, I watched you, right? You were a big time performer. Everybody knew who you were. You were the star of everything.
But because there weren't many, let's be clear, there weren't many guys.
There were not many men at all.
In the activity at all.
Or black folk at all.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But I remember after my mom passed away, I was made captain of the drill team in West Roxbury. And then Jerry Glover brought me to individuals, to the competition, individuals. And I was like 12, maybe 13 years old. And there was like 100 people competing. And didn't you win that one? Or you said Wanda won that one, but I think you won that one.
I don't think I never won. Okay. Let's start with I never won.
Maybe you won in my heart. Okay.
Maybe in your heart. And I'm sure it came in probably a good second. Because even when I was because remember, when I first went up, when I first went into individuals, Jay Puccini was in individuals. And let's not forget who Jay Puccini was, right? Yeah. Because he was kind of like the real deal. He was great at what he did. He was a guy, and he was straight on top of it. But
which matters.
which was like, oh my God, like a straight flag rifle twirler. Like that's kind of hard to believe, but there were a few. So anyway, he was sort of in it, and then the year he didn't go in, or he was too old. He aged out or whatever. And it was supposed to be kind of my year. I lost to
Wanda.
No, Wanda was a flag. So it wasn't flag. It was a rifle. Okay. And I lost to some girl, and it wasn't his girlfriend, but I want to say he taught her, like whatever. Anyways, I shouldn't have lost, but I did.
Okay, well, anyway, all I remember is that you won. That's all I remember. So, because I was enamored by how brilliant of a performer you were. Like, and I think,
but you were too, by the way.
Well, here's the thing. There was like 100 people who competed. I was like 13 years old. It was my first time, and I remember I came in 12th, which was like ridiculously amazing for me. You know what I mean? And I was so excited. Of course, I thought I was going to win. You know what I mean? And when I look back on it, I'm like, I was so delusional. But I did really great for, whatever. But I think that was the first time I remember being like at least close to you in that, like I was competing with you. Now, we never worked together in that we were in the same kind of performing thing. You taught me. You ended up teaching me.
Well, that of course, and that was
okay. Did y'all get that? Of course, we would never work together.
Well, of course, no. I meant it more like, of course, that's where our connection became the strongest.
Right.
That's where we really formed a connection.
Right.
Like that's when I really got to know who you were, more about you.
And you were the reason why I went to Lancers. I mean, that was the reason why I wanted to do drum corps, was because you were going to teach me. So.
And I loved it. I loved it so much because remember that year in Lancers specifically was my first year with Sean. I worked with Sean O'Brien.
Yeah, he was amazing.
And what was great about Sean was that he had this whole dance background, right? And he was from the activity as well, because he did do drum and bugle corps. But he was the person that kind of brought in the dance to this activity in a way that no one had really done.
Yeah.
That we had in our world, no one had really done what he was willing to do. And what I also, because I was teaching with him and because I was the activities sort of like kingpin, right? Like I was the young new person in the activity, right? That they were like, this is the guy that needs to, who's going to take us to the next level. I gave him the grace to do whatever he wanted.
He was amazing.
And he was the one that brought in all those amazing warm-ups. And he was the one that taught me like how to do tendus and how to do port-a-bras and how to do, real dance. And I was so enamored with that. But he was the one, I give it to that man who's no longer with us.
May he rest in peace.
He was the one that was able to take me into a totally different direction with the activity. So I wasn't just like twirling my flag, but I was like, oh, look at this expressive stuff that I can do with this flag, that made it more exciting and more beautiful. And what was so amazing about you specifically was that you were able to interpret it in a way that most people did not get.
But that would get me in trouble. That would always get, because I had.
But not with us. Not with us.
No, absolutely not.
Look at Miss Carmen with those wings flying through. Look at how she did it. I know,
but Sean and you also really helped me technically, because as much as I was a great dancer, and I was, because I had that background as a young kid just in the neighborhood and all the other things I was doing, which it's so weird because when I think about color guard and drum corps, people, that's all anybody did. Like that was your passion, you know what I mean? But I think what was great was that I really was horrible at the technical aspects of dancing, and Sean and you kind of honed that in. So I was great at being like, what? You know what I mean? But I remember one time Sean was like, so we need to tone that down. We need to
bring that in.
No, and every time I see the Birdcage, I don't know if you know that movie with Nathan Lane, and when Robin Williams goes up on the stage and he's like, I want you to have Madonna, Martha Graham. Do you remember that part? And he's like, but I want you to keep it all inside. I think of Sean teaching me. Like, that's what I think of. Like, I do. I love that thing. So, but.
Yeah, he was great. He was amazing.
But you were great too. You give him way more credit. You were amazing and great, and you brought a lot to the activity. Is that what we're calling it now? The activity?
I've always called it the activity.
Really? The activity. It sounds like a mafia thing.
You know what I realized the other day? I was trying to put into timing how long I was in it and how long I went out of it. And I realized that my first year into it was 1980. Was my first. Really? So I really started probably around 1979, but 1980 was my first year I competed. And the last year I competed was 2001. 2001 was my last WGI I did with the high school that I taught.
Right.
And that was, I had already met, who was my my
we're
ex-husband.
Going to just delete that part, but go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But so I had just met him. So that's when I got out. And so I just realized that I've now surpassed the time that I was in it. So I was in it for roughly 21 years or something. Mm-hmm. And now I've been out of it for over 25 years, right? Like, so my life has completely changed. And I was just thinking that because I had seen something on Instagram, there's a lot of the activity on Instagram, and it's
It's changed so much.
And it's so big. It's so many thousands of kids that are participate in it.
You know what? Look, I'm always going to be a little bit negative on it because I feel like, I mean, I hope it's changed. I hope that now it's an avenue for real performers to move forward into another aspect of performing. Not once while I was in this activity did anyone even consider the possibility that there might be something afterwards. You know what I mean? And I think that did a disservice to a lot of the real talent and the really passionate people. For me, it was a survival mechanism. There's no doubt about it. But I was also really good at it, and I just imagine if I had had some type of support system in a different way, maybe I would have moved out to California quicker, or, you know what I mean? Like, or something. But I mean, I'm not blaming. I'm just hoping that the activity has changed and it's actually, I mean, even just drum corps, the amount of talent music wise, like I think of all of those amazing people, musicians. And I think to myself, I hope most of them had opportunities to keep, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
To move forward. Yeah, it absolutely. I mean, I watched some of DCI this year. I got the Sport of the Arts page or whatever, and I did my paid to be able to watch some of it, and I had the kids watch some of the top groups, right? The Blue Devils, who are still around,
still here,
you know what I mean, and some others. The talent is absolutely undeniable. Wow. The passion is undeniable. And that to me is, you're absolutely right. I also, for as much as how you said, like, being kind of negative on it or whatever, I also want to say that I feel like it's also what got me out of the mosh pit of nothingness.
Yep, I understand.
Brought me into a place where it opened up my world a little bit. And even though it was this small world of flag twirling or whatever, I felt like I saw more of the world.
Well, we did. We traveled a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, but just more. It just opened me up to different people, different experiences, different things, and also it took that fire that's in your belly, like, I'm going to be good at this, and I'm gonna conquer this, and I'm gonna, and for the people that it serves, which, by the way, it serves really the blue collar, if you will. I don't know if there's still a blue collar in our country anymore, but there isn't.
A whole other conversation,
right? The lower, let's just say, the lower socioeconomic.
At least when we were growing up. I mean,
for sure.
I don't know about now.
I think it's still part of that.
It still does, right?
Yeah, because let's face it, the band kids are not necessarily the orchestra,
right,
talented people who are playing, piano and violin, and,
right,
you know what I mean? And they're going to ballet classes necessarily, right? And gymnastics and stuff like this. This is the people that don't have that opportunity and just kind of want to be. And of course, there's also, it also, because it's band and stuff like that, and in high schools, it grabs a lot of, I think, children from a lot of different backgrounds, but the basic of it is more, the lower socioeconomic. That's what I feel.
No, for sure. There's no doubt about
it. That was our thing, right?
That was how we grew up. That's and it was. I always say this. It was a saving grace. I mean, there's no doubt that is the thing that kept me out of gangs. It kept me out of living on the streets all the time. Well, and how I feel about the drug thing.
Yes, yeah.
Because there were drugs where I grew up, and then I would go to rehearsal, and there would be drugs everywhere. But I have my issue with that. But I try not to judge, but
that was also specific, by the way, I think in many ways to your group.
Yeah.
Blessed
Sacrament. We don't have to talk about that, but I just think for me, it was also just kind of a realization that the world wasn't as like I always thought my neighborhood was bad and the world was good. And then I realized because
that the world had some of that too.
That the world
But it was all inner city, girl. It was all inner city.
I know.
You went from one inner city to the other.
To another. I know, but I lived in Boston and in JP. And so there was this kind of, it was all Latino, Black, Irish, all poor folk, but like whatever.
And you went to Cambridge?
Right. No. And then I'd go to West Oxford. It was all white. Everybody was all white. It was very church going, whatever.
But Blessed Sec was what, Cambridge, no?
Yeah, that was Cambridge. That was later on. And then that was like the shock of my life. Anyways, we'll talk about the good stuff. But okay, so back to you, because this isn't really supposed to be all about what did you call it? The practice?
The activity?
The activity. I swear to God, I've known you forever and I've never heard you call it.
We've always called it the activity. We all call it the activity.
It sounds so fucking hilarious. Okay, that's how we met. And here was my question that I was thinking about last night. I was like, okay, I just want to say for people, when I say you're an extraordinary performer, I'm not exaggerating. I don't say that about anybody. You were an incredible performer, and you know that, as well as I know that I'm right about this. But you were also an extraordinary teacher. And I was wondering which one you loved more.
Oh, that's interesting. No, teaching.
Really? Yeah, because you were an incredible teacher.
Yeah, no, and when I went on, there were some experiences that I had in teaching with certain groups through the years that were for sure magical.
Yeah.
And it was magical in part because it was a combination of the talent, the commitment, the product, what you were actually teaching. So the whole thing came together to be something really magical. And by the way, that teaching was what provoked me to become a teacher, right? Because I went to university very late in life, because I started university when I was basically 29, I guess. I was 29 years old when I went to university.
It's never late. You were right on time.
Never too late. That teaching brought me into actual education, right? So I ended up going to university and getting a degree in elementary education. And I taught for 6 years in the public school system, which here in Miami, which, by the way, I went from teaching in Liberty City, which is pretty much the ghetto, to, because that's they always put you in at where
you're most needed might be the way
where you're most needed, and where you're have no least effective, because you have no experience and you're just they're ready for you to eat you,
right?
And I went from there to teaching in one of the better school districts, actually in the city as well. So I had both experiences, and both experiences were very, very positive, and I really enjoyed the whole teaching experience, and I thought it was really amazing. And the only reason I left teaching was, the only reason, there was a couple of reasons, one of them was financial, right? Because
we don't pay our teachers enough. We just don't.
Not enough, anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything.
I mean, that's why Andrea left too. And I think about the two people I would want teaching my children would be you and Andrea. You know what I mean? Like, just brilliant human beings. But it's always people who are like, I can make more money somewhere else. And what's with all the drama, like with this life,
Yeah. And so then that's what provoked me. It was that. And then I also had the impression that I would probably at some point have children of my own. Mm-hmm. Which I do, but because of that, I said, well, teaching and it's a lot, and I really wanted to pursue my passion of interior design, right? So,
which you are incredible with Billy Blanco designs. I mean, it's just
Thank you.
I just went to your website again yesterday, and I was like, the tree house. I mean. the way in which you guys design, I mean, that's part of my question too is, well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, that's fine. I was just saying how, one thing led to the other, but I went back to school for a degree in interior design, which is where, I met my, my current partner and my business partner, David, who is,
we love David. Hi, David.
Who's super brilliant at it. And so anyway, so say that again.
And so are you. God, trying to get the compliment is so hard.
So now to your point, to your question, I think teaching was more rewarding for me.
Can I tell you why I think you were a great teacher?
Why?
Because most people who teach seem to be angry about the fact that they're not actually doing the thing that they're teaching.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know what I mean? Like you were like, no, I have a gift, let me share it kind of thing. Whereas a lot of people who I was coached by, taught by, whatever, there was a resentment. And that's even in acting. Like just, you can see people who are like, I couldn't make it as an actor, so now I'm a teacher. And it's like, you stay away from those people. You know what I mean? But
interesting.
Yeah, I think that was always a great gift. You really marveled at watching people not only excel, but do what they were taught correctly. And then
that's interesting. Yeah, for sure.
And then when they fucked it up, like I did a lot, you didn't get angry. You were great at being like, let me help you tweak this to do it right. So you also met me where I was at. I assume you did that with everyone. You were not condescending. You were not cruel. And you understood that I was who I was and somebody else was who they were. And you had to teach me differently than you taught them. And that's what I always admired about you. I know. Are you blushing?
I am a little bit in my white.
You didn't know that? You didn't know that?
No, I don't. It's interesting that you would say it that way because it's not necessarily how I looked at it. I looked at it like I was there in part to make the kids better, right? Like it was like for them to improve, and a big part was obviously the creative aspect of it, making something that was creative and doing something creative and doing something beautiful. But then bringing the kids to the potential of that was always amazing. And then getting them to have confidence.
Yes.
Like people that you would say were like, when they walked into their first rehearsal were like this, you know what I mean? Like,
I just want to be clear. I never had that problem. I'm sorry. You're right.
I would agree with that.
I never had that problem.
But there's plenty of
people.
No,
of course, you're right. You're right.
Right? Yeah. And then, I mean, they might not come out and be some, whatever, but I certainly saw people come out of their shells and become so much more than they ever thought that they were, right? And that's something that a lot of those people took with them for life.
Right.
And
that's
into
beautiful,
the real world.
Right? That you did that for people.
Yeah.
Why are we friends?
Why are we friends?
Such cool? I mean, I know why I love you, but I was thinking.
You want to know why I love you?
Well, I know why you love me. Well, okay, yeah, let's share that. Yeah.
I think we share a history and we share ideology.
We do.
We have a lot of very similar beliefs in our system of life, and if you want to say our moral sort of, and I don't like to say moral so much because it makes you sound like, but how we feel about humanity, how we feel about society, how we feel. So I think those things really connect us, so that we have like that strong sort of bond. I think we're both also in our own ways self-made.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I didn't.
Right. We both have sort of self-made ourselves. We brought ourselves from, from sort of nothingness into into putting us through school and always exploring, and our histories, our backstories, I think have helped to connect us. And I don't know about you, but for me, I'm the type of person that I like, or I want, or I desire. I need some of my past brought into my future, for me to know that there's sort of that continuity. And if right. And so if there's any way of saying it, like you said it, it's like brother from another mother. You have some sort of a family tie connection, and that's how I feel, and so for me, it's like you're part of my chosen family.
I love you.
So anyways,
I think for me too, it's more about, all of that, of course. But I don't stay in touch with a lot of people from back in the day. I agree with you. And that's part of what our connection is that history. And okay, so I'm going to say something to embarrass you even more, I think. Anyways, I don't know. I know. I love people who teach me something and make me a better person. And you've always been that. Now, there's no doubt when I was a young kid, I was just, you and Susan Kerwin. Do you remember Susan Kerwin? I don't know if you remember. Yeah, I don't know if you knew her, but you two were these amazing performers that I aspired to be like. You know what I mean? And I think that continues to this day. Like, yes, I know we're on equal footing. We laugh, we talk regularly, we whatever, right? We visit with each other, whatever. But I think what I still love about you is that you still teach me something. Like you did it the other day when we were talking about politics. And I was like, I didn't think about it that way. You know what I mean? And I think that's what kind of, for me, is also a really important connection to people. We've also never had a fight. And I fight with everybody. Have we had a fight? I don't think we've ever had a fight.
Well, for me, no, I don't think we have. But for me, I'm not really, I don't like to be combative, only with my partner, David.
I know. And even
him a little bit, and my kids a little bit. I'm a little combative with them.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, when I think about all my friendships, the ones that are close to me, whatever, and I think about, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever had, like, I've never been mad at you. I've never been angry. I don't know what that's about. That's really interesting. We'll have to work on the other part.
Maybe we need to, let's get in a fight. You want to have a fight?
No, but you know what it is? Because I think that, look, all relationships are very different, but I think there's also, I have such a different type of respect for you. And it does that. You will always be someone, I know you're going to hate this, but you're always someone I look up to. And I know you probably don't realize that, but I do. So I would never fight with you. All my other motherfucking friends, I fight with you because we equal.
That's so funny. That is kind of funny.
I don't know why we've never fought, but Okay, I have a little fast round.
Okay, fast round.
Questions.
Right.
And you can either expand on it or not. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You doing good so far with these questions?
I'm doing great.
Okay. Did I embarrass you?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Baryshnikov or Nureyev? Mikhail Baryshnikov or Rudolf Nureyev? I know that's a hard one.
So I'm going to say Baryshnikov, and I'm going to say a couple things. I've seen both of them.
Me too.
And on stage.
Yeah.
Live. But only Nureyev playing the king in The King and I.
Oh, okay.
On stage in Boston at one point, because he's, I don't.
That's right. I saw him in Boston too.
Oh, you did? When did he pass away?
I saw him in Don Quixote. I was really young.
You had to have been real young, because did he pass away in the 90s?
Yeah. No, he did, but I saw him like I was really young. We had gotten free tickets or something.
Yeah.
And I was like this.
Yeah.
So I never
really got to see him dance. So that's why I'm leaning more towards Baryshnikov, who I did see dance a lot. He's more of our contemporary.
Yes.
Or my
Absolutely.
contemporary, anyways.
Right.
So that's why I'm going to say him, right? I mean, I even liked him in Sex and the City.
He's not your contemporary. He's older than you. Okay.
Not that much.
All right. Well, anyways, we don't need to, we'll delete that too. Like, I don't know if I think he's older than you, but he's.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he is, but not by a lot.
Okay, but I know, but you look so good. Okay. But here's the thing. I mean, Mikhail Baryshnikov is kind of, I don't want to say protege to Rudolf Nureyev, but he, I mean, loved him.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, it was kind of a trick question, but there is no real answer. But you would pick Baryshnikov just because he's more our time.
Yeah, more of a contemporary. That's what I would say. I've seen more of him. I've seen him live.
Was him in the Nutcracker? What did you see?
No, I saw him here in Miami when he did he was towards the end of his dancing, if you will. And he did it was a very small, intimate theater, and he did a live performance of his more contemporary sort of dance.
Right.
It was a more contemporary piece. It wasn't classical at all.
Right.
And so, but I like I said, I even liked him in Sex and the City. I did.
Yeah, he was great.
I just think he really has done a lot for dance and for men particularly.
Men, yeah, particularly too. Just kind of he's just. I remember when he did the movie with Gregory Hines. I forget the name of it. Remember it was the two of them and they were like spies and one was defecting. Okay. You don't know what I'm talking about. But
no, I don't.
Him and Gregory Hines, they do this whole tap dancing scene together. And I was like, my God, is there anything this man can't do? I'll send you the clip to that. I forget the name of it, but it's so good. I think you know it. You just don't remember it. I think
that could be possible.
Because if you know him as Sex and the City, you must have seen him in that movie. Okay, what's your one vice that you can share on a public forum?
My one vice?
Yeah.
Champagne.
I would not have guessed that. Okay, do we normally do Vouv or are we going up?
No, well, I do something, and I do something more in the Vouv.
Dom Perignon?
No, girl.
Girl.
Girl. All
right.
No, I would say if you're saying a vice like that, like that's something that I enjoy. I don't know.
I love champagne. I just didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call that a vice or what my
enjoy.
What my other vice would be.
I thought you would say yoga. That's what I thought you would say.
Well, it's interesting because I could say exercise, because I like to go to, and by exercise, I like to go to the gym. I like to do yoga. I like to do, like a spinning class. I even like to get on the treadmill and just walk. And so, I do like exercise, and it's probably honestly my real vice because.
Exercise in general,
because I do it as often as I can. And there's times when I can't do it because, the kids or schedule or whatever. So whenever I can, I do. And at the same time, it's one of those things that it's a little bit of like, okay, I gotta drag into it. And then once I'm there, I'm like, I'm good to go. Right? Like I put my all into it.
It's kind of normal for everyone, right? I mean, you gotta just get yourself out there, but
gotta kind of, like half the battle is getting there. But I do. And it is something there's more, but I guess when you say vice, and I don't even know.
You're thinking too deeply on this, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I would even say cooking, because I love.
Oh, that's true. You are quite the cook. This is true.
So I love to cook. So I don't know if that's a vice, or so I don't know how one defines a vice. Like, how do you define that?
It was just a question, but see, we've learned so much about you because you were able to go. That's the whole point. See,
Okay, all right. But I want to know how you define vice.
I think a vice for me would be like, a vice for me would be something I can't not do. Like if I don't do it, it pains me. So like my vice would, I write in a journal
so then it's not
every
champagne.
day.
So then it's not champagne.
Okay.
No, if it's
like you're not an alcoholic.
because I don't have, you know what I mean? Like it's champagne is something that I enjoy to do. It's like it's something, but I would say if it's something that I have, it would be exercise.
Exercise
for sure.
Like
It would pain. It does pain me if I can't do it for like a week or two. It's like I'm a little jonesing. Like I need to do something. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I meant. Like I think for me, that's what vice me. But again, these are just to provoke people to get to know you and understand why I love you so much. Okay, Tokyo or Dubai? Because I know you've been to both, right?
Tokyo.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Is it
Dubai is like this fantasy city in a way.
Like futuristic.
And Tokyo is real.
Oh.
Tokyo is like that. Yeah, Tokyo is real. Tokyo has real people. Tokyo has a culture that is so deep and so impermeated in every aspect of it that you just can feel it. And there are things
I want to say that a real brother, a real family member would take me with him and the family to these places. I'm just saying, I have not been to Tokyo or Dubai. So
yeah, no, Dubai. The thing about Dubai that's so it's futuristic, but it's also, it's a culture that is so hard to wrap around.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I don't really want to go to Dubai. I've heard people say it's a little bit too manufactured and fake.
There is that, and then that there is a whole slave class.
Yeah.
There is a slave class. I don't care what anyone, and that is not Tokyo.
Right. Okay. So we're going to Tokyo. I can't wait. I love it. Thank you, Billy. Love you. Okay. If you could change one thing in the world today, what would it be? Do not say Trump.
I can't.
Is that it? I know. Okay.
It would be him.
We'll just skip that one. All right, we'll skip that one.
It would be him. There's absolutely no question. I would just say, could we just get rid of it for now?
Yeah. All right. Okay, favorite part of being a dad? You have 2 kids. I'm not going to say their names, but you have a boy and a girl. Both are tweens now, right? Both are, yeah.
Yeah.
One is 16 and one is
12.
12.
Just getting to spend time with them.
Yeah.
Getting to be with them, in their presence. Putting them to bed, more or less, waking them up, feeding them, being with them.
I just want to say that one of the things, and I've never told you this, that I love about you is you will call me and we'll talk about whatever, but you're not constantly talking about your children. But when you do talk about your children, it is always about what they're doing and how great they are at it. Even if they're disappointing you, I don't think you realize this. Like a lot of my other friends will call and bitch and complain about their children, but you are the only person I know who calls me, and you don't normally talk about your kids with me. I think because I don't have kids, But when you do talk about your children, it is always about like, did you see what I posted on Instagram, the piano, and it's always about like, and I notice this because it's what I wish I had in a parent. Like, I wish I had that growing up, that level of excitement of an adult and the uplifting of a child, even when they're not in your presence. Because I'm sure that never happened to me because it wasn't happening because there was nobody around. You know what I mean? Like so I admire that. See, when I tell you I admire you, this is kind of eye-opening for you, isn't it? A little bit. Mm-hmm. Are you getting sad? You're trying to
No.
But yeah, I love that about you. And I hope someday when I do, I know your children, but when they're adults, I want to share that part of you with them. I
Mm.
don't know why I'm acting like you won't be around, but I'm just saying. That was so weird.
Jeez.
Sorry. Okay. Best part of getting older.
The best part, I guess the best part of getting older is you realize whatever time you have left in front of you is important, and you need to make the most of it, because whatever's past is past, and it's done, and you can't change it. You could improve upon it, I guess, because you can do something in the future that's better. But I think the best part of getting older is that you realize that you have less in front of you. You have less time in front of you, and you have less, maybe even functional time, right? Because
oh, wow, interesting.
Right, because you see so many people at 80, they're not even functional anymore, right? Like they're not, many, not all, but but there's a disproportionate amount of people that become less functional, and they're not being productive, and they're not I think of God, what's her name on Golden Pond?
On Golden Pond, Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda, as an example of someone who is so functional at her age, how she speaks, how she is out there, how she is, and I go, man, I want to be a Jane Fonda, but right, but she also has talked about, like, at a certain age, like 60, she was like, look, I know that I have what's left in front of me is, it's this amount of time, and I need to make the most of it. And and I hate to say that the obvious, that everyone likes to say, oh, I don't care about what anyone thinks anymore, and I'm not going to listen to anyone else anymore, or whatever. And I think that that's not entirely true, because I think your feelings can still get hurt, and I think you can still feel like a schmuck, and you can still feel underwhelmed and not be, the person that you want to necessarily be. So it's interesting that you say this about me currently, and yet I'm at this point in my life where I'm trying to figure out, like, what are my next steps? Like, what am I going to do? My kids are going to leave. And they've been my whole life.
I know,
right?
you think they're going to leave.
No, but you're convincing.
Yeah,
they're going to hang on. But I'm just, they're going on to university, and they're going to have their own lives, and so I need to find a whole new me, and how am I going to explore that, and what are the things that I'm going to do to educate myself and keep learning. Like you say all the time, like, we want to learn, we want to know
curiosity.
more.
That's how you stay young, is stay curious. That's what people don't understand. It's not about Botox, and it's not about being skinny or whatever. It's really about staying curious.
Correct. It's like, it's your mind, where you want to keep it up and going.
Okay, I have 3 more questions. This one will wait till the end. Well, I'll just ask you now, do you have a favorite Rob Reiner film?
When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, classic. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you always travel with? Because you travel a lot. So what's the one thing you would tell people to make sure they do when they travel or take with you? I'm preparing for our trip.
Your toothbrush.
Really? Like, all right, that wasn't.
I don't know. You want to know the truth? Here's the truth about traveling. So I'm that person. This is going to sound. I'm that person. I've seen some Instagram reels where it's like the guy's going, I'm going on vacation, only I don't know where, and I just packed 2 minutes ago, and the one next to me is the one that did everything.
Right.
So that's David. Like, David packs everything. He has scissors and pills, and every single thing, and wipies, and it's all perfectly packed and all perfectly, like. And the minute before we're ready to go, I'm like going, okay, I'm getting ready. I'm going to go. And I just make sure I've got, my toothbrush.
That's it. Okay.
And some Advil. I always want to make sure I got some Advil.
There it is.
Advil.
Advil. Okay. All right. 2 more questions. Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, or Dolly Parton?
Oh God.
Jane Fonda. Think we already know. You said Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda. Although I love Dolly. I love Dolly Parton.
And Lily Tomlin. We loved
And I loved Lily Tomlin too. I know more about Dolly Parton, and I know more about Jane Fonda. And I'm sorry, Jane Fonda is an icon, and when her and Cher, because Cher's another one. I have so much. I love Cher, and
Isn't she getting married to her like 25-year-old boyfriend?
Good for her. And whoever's doing her face or whatever, she's got it on because she's done it properly.
But she's been doing it since she was like 20. That's why. I mean, you don't know what she really looks like.
Jane Fonda, I think they both look amazing for people who have had surgical faces. Who did I hear? Oh, you want to hear what I heard, which I thought was fucking priceless, is, I'm sorry, the F-bomb. What I thought was priceless is, she says, okay, and what is her name? And I see, this is when I go brain dead. I can't remember her.
This is like our phone call. You're like, who is it?
Who is this person that I'm trying to think? Anyways, so she's a writer from New York City. She doesn't have a phone. She doesn't have a computer. She's basically a very interesting older woman, and she's I don't want to say historian, but she's like a commentator. She's very thoughtful, and I should remember her name, and I can't remember her name right now. Anyways, she says, look. She says, there's 3 faces. There's your young face, there's your old face, and then there's your surgical face. Brilliant. I was like, it's so true. She goes, and some people's surgical faces are okay, and lots of people's surgical faces are just surgical faces. And it's so true. It's like, this is me when I was young. Yeah. This is me if I were old, right? Yeah. And this is my surgical me. Because it's so prevalent.
I know, but so many people do too much. Cher and Dolly Parton, that's a different thing because that's kind of their character persona. They've been doing it forever, so they don't really count. Jane Fonda did it right. Jane Fonda still looks her age, but she's clearly like, nobody has a neck problem in Los Angeles. Only me, because they've all had the lift. You know what I mean? Like, they've all had this thing done. You know what I mean? But she's done
because they do the necks, I guess, right? Do they? Well,
it's a facelift, so
it's part of the neck too.
Yeah, so it like, look at me. Clearly, I know way too much about this. I will never go into surgery. But I mean, if you notice, Jane Fonda, everybody has this kind of tight, natural thing. So yeah.
Well, no, because now it's like. Now, I mean, these people's faces are completely, utterly different. They're not even the same people.
I love Demi Moore, but I'm done. Wow. I can't look at her without freaking out. I mean, she looks like she's.
What about Kris Jenner?
Well, okay, so don't get mad at me. There are some people I do not consider even worthy of being in my atmosphere because I don't know what they did to become famous. So there's a whole bunch of, so I don't pay attention to her, but
the family or the children.
I couldn't pick them out in a lineup if they were in front of me because I don't know. I know the names, but I don't know who they are. There was another one. There was a blonde woman who also was the Hilton. She was the daughter of the Hilton.
Paris Hilton.
Yeah, I don't know who she is either. But I know that name, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know I'm so mean that way, but I'm like, more. So, and I'm just saying
with her.
Well, no, because she's a talented actress, right? She's,
Did you like her
whatever you
in
think
the last movie she did? What was it called?
I don't know, but I can't hear you, so you have to move closer to your computer again.
Did you like her in the last movie she was?
I don't know what movie you're. I haven't.
She was.
I don't.
She was,
I didn't
it was
see her in the
good.
last movie.
It was some kind
But I
of
think
robot.
about Ghost or whatever. I mean, like back in the day, all the movies she did or whatever.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just, here's my thing: do whatever you want to do to make yourself feel better, whatever. I'm all cool with it. But it just makes me uncomfortable to see a woman. What is she in her 60s? And she looks like she's 25.
She's at least in her 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a weird one, but that's our interview. That's it. See, it wasn't so hard.
We're done. That's it. We didn't even get to talk about politics.
I know. I was on purpose.
That's all right. That's for another one.
Well, I mean, I think this is more about just introducing you to the atmosphere as my brother from another mother, because I don't want people to hate you right away. No, I appreciate you doing this, though. Thank you so much.
Thank you for interviewing me. I hope it was somewhat productive. I hope you get. I hope it's.
Do I have to give you? I don't ever remember you needing like a confidence boost.
No, I don't need a confidence boost.
Right. Are you just tired?
No, I'm not tired.
Because you had to get up so early to do the interview at 10 o'clock?
No, I got up my usual time to go take the kids. I get up at 6:15. That's my normal time when I have the kids. I get up at 6:15. I make them breakfast. And then we're out the door by 7:15, 7:30. And I drive them all the way to the school.
All the way to hell, right.
And by the time I get back, it's usually like 8:40, 8:45, almost 9 o'clock. After dropping them off. So my morning is from 6 to 9. I got a 3-hour shift.
Look at you. And I'm going to delete all of that because most people can be like, bitch, please.
I know,
it's true. So I am so grateful that you came on the show. I appreciate you, Billy, so much. And remember, everyone, at the end of the day, it really is all about the joy. See you next time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's so fake. I love it. Thanks for stopping by All About the Joy. Be better and stay beautiful, folks. Have a sweet day.